It's a beautiful Wednesday. We're going to show you how to make some money off of the MLB, WNBA, and NHL on props and parlays today. Welcome. I am Andy from WagerTalk.com. We're actually going to start here in the MLB here, and we're going to start with Tyler Anderson. And I don't do a lot of MLB props, but I thought this one was pretty interesting today. So something kind of jumped out to me about this one. So Tyler Anderson, his outs prop. I'm looking at his outs prop because he's been on a tear in this category. And so when we look at what's going on here with Tyler Anderson, only gone under in 2 games this season. And we see this really nice streak of 5 games in a row. Now, when I see 24 outs, 21 outs, 20 outs, immediately I'm thinking to myself, we're getting ready for a clunker or we're getting ready for some fatigue to set in. And then he goes under. But I looked at Tyler Anderson's game log, and what's interesting to me is not necessarily the innings, but it's the pitch count. The pitch count is very, very consistent. And so when we look at when he went under against Baltimore, when he only went 5 innings, he had 105 pitches. That's easily the most in his season. So it's interesting. He has the most pitches, but he goes under his outs. He had 93 pitches in the other game that he went under, where he only pitched 4.1 inning. But we look at the streak that he's been on, where he's gone 6, 6.1, 6.2, 7, and 8. And the pitch counts are almost exactly the same: 92, 93, 93, 96, 95. So when we're looking at his out stats, it's kind of more about the pitch count. So if we're going to take the under on Tyler Anderson, I actually lead a little bit more to the over on this one because he's been getting through a lot of these batters and doing it within that 93 to 95 pitch count. So I think I might lean over on Tyler Anderson. I know it's minus 140. I like riding these streaks. I think he is due for an under at some point, but I think it's his under is going to be because his pitch count gets too high. He's been pitching really good. I mean, we see his numbers here. The last 3 games, 3 earned runs, 1 and 1. So, and against Houston, Texas, Kansas City. So interesting work there on Tyler Anderson. And his strikeouts are at 4.5, and there's really not much that I can decipher from that one. His walks are at 2.5. He's had pretty good control. So, looking at his numbers, he's gone under in 3. But I thought the outs was kind of interesting on Tyler Anderson and taking a look at his pitch counts. On the flip side, we've got an interesting situation in St. Louis here. So Andre Pilati, you look at his strikes and you go, my gosh, he's never going to get over. And then you go, well, why is it minus 175 if he's never gone over? Well, he's a relief pitcher, but he's getting the start today. I have no idea how long he's going to go. I did notice in his last game, he went 3 innings. He had no strikeouts. So he's not a big strikeout guy. But this is one that might be a little odd to people when you're going, well, he's never gone over. Well, what's going on here? And I know the Cardinals are looking for that last starting spot, and they're giving him the chance today. If he pitches good, it's probably his. So I thought that was kind of interesting. His outs, like I said, he went 3 innings last game. If you can find his outs prop, I haven't seen it on a sports book, but if this number is true, 5.5 outs, you should absolutely play that one. I don't think it's going to be out there on the sports books. I think props.cashiers kind of tricking us a little bit. So let's see. What was some other interesting ones on the outs here? Tyler, Seth Lugo. I don't understand why he's minus 204 to the under. I guess it's because it's 18.5, so he would have to come out and get at least 1 out in the 6th inning. But this guy's been very durable and very good, and he's gone over this one in 5 out of the last 6 games, and that's at a plus 146, plus 150 range. So that's a pretty decent look there in MLB. So all right, let's take a quick look at NHL. And I got to tell you guys, I talked about having the negative energy over the weekend. Then I talked about like having that really nice talk with my wife, and everything feels good. And now all of a sudden we're number 2 on the 3-day charts for winners on WagerTalk.com. We're coming off of a clean sweep last night, WNBA and NHL. So I don't really like I don't really like the props in this series. I can't find streaks. I can't find things that are consistent and well within pricing range. Um, Zach Hyman has been. They got this at 3.5 shots on goal. I know he's gone over 4.5. I just don't like playing 3.5 shots on goal. You just have everything has to go right to get over that one. Give him credit. He's getting there. I'll give him that. Um, talk about falling off a cliff. Stan Coven, my gosh. We were riding him for a little bit on the over, and thank God we got off that train because I mean, no shots on goal, 1-1-1. I don't want to take an under on 1.5, but I'm certainly not taking an over. So it just kind of goes to show this one is it's a little bit tough. We can look at points here. Jamie Benn has currently the best streak going on in this series. He's got a point in every single game. He's gotten 2 the last couple. So if you're looking for guys that are on fire with the points, I always gravitate towards guys that do not have points. And problem is the prices are pretty steep here. So Ekholm, Harley, I guess Evander Kane's probably the only one that's within range here at -160. It's gone. He went 4 games in a row with a point. Now he's going 4 without. Doesn't have any points against Dallas. And if you get a low scoring game, your odds are pretty good. He's had some pretty good scoring chances. He's been around the net with the puck around there. So I feel like he's going to get a point here pretty soon. Shots on goal, he finally went under. He had a nice streak of 4 games in a row. But again, I'm staying away. I don't know. I can't get there with too many props on this one. So it's going to be I'm gonna be sitting this game out tonight. Hopefully we'll get back because we cashed on the Rangers and I got some good reads on that game and that series. So all right, we are going to move to WNBA here and we'll talk about that. But real quick, I do want to say WNBA, we're now 2-0. And I talked yesterday about how I don't Major League Baseball props don't really interest me that much. I feel like it's a little bit too much of a grind for my liking, and I really am going I really am going to be focusing on WNBA. There's a few good looks tonight, and we'll get to those. But for those of you guys that are watching the show, just know we're going to be WNBA. We're going to be paying attention to this a lot. Someone asked me if I did WNBA props last year, and I don't feel like the props were out as much, not the first part of the season. They were kind of towards the end. I paid attention to them a little bit, did a little paper trading, and they seem to go well. But I do believe that there are a lot of really good spots available in the WNBA. And I've talked a lot about this. I really don't care if it's a huge nationally televised game or if it's a sport that nobody watches. If I have an edge and it can increase my bankroll, that's kind of what I'm going to be playing. And I know it hurts my self with sales on WagerTalk, because I don't have a 5% play in every nationally televised NBA game or this big one, because I'm more focused on the ways that we can turn a profit in some of the more obscure markets and soft markets. And I know that's not everyone's cup of tea. So if you're watching this and your only goal is to make money and to build your bankroll, you are in the right spot. Just know we're going to be talking about things that most people in this industry are not really talking about. So we can get to WNBA, but we do have a really nice specialist going. I'll get to that in just a second. We're doing a Memorial Day to Labor Day deal, only $6 a day. So I'll go over that in a second. But let's talk a little bit about WNBA. I talked about Caitlin Clark and her points, rebounds, and assists. And I said lay off last night, and she blew up. Went 13 of 15 from the free throw line, easily gets over her points, rebounds, and assists. I think now is the time to come back and start playing her under points, rebounds, and assists when she gets tougher matchups. She doesn't play till tomorrow, so we'll take a look at some games here for tonight. Tough slate tonight. I was looking at Sabrina Ionesco and her 3-point shooting. So I wanted to take a look at the under. She plays for the Liberty. It's 2.5 made 3-pointers. And we can look at her game log here real quick and see initially why I thought this might be a good play. So 2 of 6, 2 of 8, 1 of 6, 4 of 9, 2 of 8, 1 of 7. So she's not that accurate. And I don't know. She's averaging, what is this? Call it 7 you got to go 3 of 7 to go over. Her percentages is not that great, and if she does take 6 3-pointers, that means she's got to shoot 50% from the from threes. The problem is it's a great matchup for her tonight. She's playing Phoenix, and Phoenix is not good at defending the 3-point. They give up a lot of 3-point attempts. They give up a lot of 3-point makes. So if you're looking at, when did she go over? She went over easily against Indiana, who's not very good defensively. So I think it's going to be a stay away. It's a very strong lean to the under, but it's one of the better matchups you could have for making 3-pointers. So as much as I really, really like that one, I ended up I just couldn't really get there. So we can look at Brianna Stewart. Her numbers very, very inflated, and we see these big numbers that it's really, really tough to get there. I'm more interested in the points, rebounds, and assists going under. She's gone over only 3 times in her last 10. She's only gone over 2 times this season. And one of them, she just went over by getting 36. So this might be another one kind of in the Caitlin Clark mold where we just play the under on these huge points, rebounds, and assists. And again, we stick with it and we hope that we go on like a 5-2 run or something like that. I mean, hey, listen, if we would have started with this at the beginning of the season, we'd be 4-2 and we'd be very, very happy. You're getting pretty good odds on it. So Brianna Stewart, it's a big, big number to get to. And she's one of the times she went over, she got there by half, and the other was against Indiana, who, terrible offensively. So those are a couple in that game. Las Vegas and Minnesota. I was looking at Jackie Young. She's gone over points every single game. But again, just barely getting over 23, 22, 23, and 22. She's got a tough matchup tonight. Normally I talk about playing the trends. I actually think this might be a good spot to go under. 4 games in a row, and now she faces Minnesota, who's a really good defensive team. So Jackie Young is one that she's due for an under here coming up. So that would be a way that I would look at playing a prop tonight. So I mentioned the points, rebounds, and assists for Caitlin Clark. And yeah, here we go. We talked about yesterday, great matchup against LA, and she was. I mean, teams are just now going to be completely focused on her. I mean, I know they already are focused on her, but I mean, I look at this streak here, 5-3, and we would have laid off of it last night. So if we would have done this for the entire season, we're 5-2, and those are the kind of streaks that we're looking for. We're still getting this number at 31.5, and I think teams are. You saw that crazy clip last night of when the woman who was shooting free throws, she shot her first free throw, forgot she had a second, and ran over and guarded Caitlin Clark in between free throws, even though she was the one shooting free throws. That's how much attention she's getting. And again, the other thing is Caitlin Clark's a rookie. This is going to be a very, very long grind of a season. Don't forget, she did not get that much of a break from the college season. So she's going to have big games like this. But I think playing her off of a big game, especially if it's a back-to-back situation, is going to be really, really nice. So I will probably be playing Caitlin Clark as an official play here. So, all right. So, yeah, a couple things in MLB, NHL, and WNBA. And I don't go through a million props because, honestly, you only need 1 or 2 a night to really do some damage. And that's what we did last night. We'll talk about some parlays here in a bit. I just want to thank everyone for leaving comments yesterday. You guys were awesome. Shout out to Hall Quilts, Daryl. Daryl, I love Daryl. He's like, yep, you're so right about WNBA. WNBA being a gem. And he says the main rule, always keep the queen happy. Yep. Robert talked about with Lively being out, Luka rebounds. Could be good. And yep, sure enough, Luka went over his rebounds last night. So glad we're getting at least one more game in that series. So, but Robert, thank you. Birkin, thank you. Gary, thank you guys for the comments. So guys, please, if you have not hit the like button, please hit the like button. You guys know it helps the algorithm out, helps tell WagerTalk that we're doing a good job, helps me out. And just leave a comment, say hi, say what's working. I know French Open picks have been going good. So leave me a comment about any of these sports that you guys have been cashing on. And I mentioned the special. So I get questions all the time about like when you're running 30-day specials and everything. This is a great special for the rest of the summer. This is 99 days. We're doing the Memorial Day through Labor Day, and you can get that. So here is the special, the WagerTalk Summer Celebration, 99 days of access from Memorial Day to Labor Day. 30-day all access passes regularly priced at $2.99. 90-day all access is $8.49. This one is $6 per day or $40 per week. So you can lock in 3 months worth of plays for only $6 a day. Really, really encourage you guys to do that. We are up over 70 units now. Really, really want to get to over 100 units by the end of the summer, and we're 2-0 in WNBA plays. We've got our 4% cross-sport parlays that are up for this week. Golf is up, and I would encourage everybody to either get the special today or at least get the golf pack. We're going to be firing away on individual round scores tomorrow because I believe I've got some really good edges there. So just go to the deals page on WagerTalk, or if you want to just go to my profile page here, you can sign up for that. But really encourage everyone to do that. We're now top 5 again in total profits for 2024, which we're really, really proud of. French Open is going great. We'll still have some more plays in that. Like I said, golf, we'll do WNBA. We'll still have some more plays in NBA and NHL if the numbers get it. But like, seriously, it's like one of the best times of year to take part in what we do. This is kind of a dead time for everybody, and everybody grows into baseball. You know how this works. Like, like NHL is over, NBA is over. Now all of a sudden we have a million like baseball experts across social media and in the industry, and that's not how we do it. We've got soccer tournaments coming up that we're going to cash in that we're comfortable with, that we don't need to force plays. Golf goes throughout the summer. I'm number 1 this year in golf. Never had a losing season at WagerTalk in golf. Lacrosse, the PLL, starts this weekend. And all these sports are sports that we have done really, really well in. We have track records in. So just know when you're investing in us, and it is an investment, every single client play that I put out, I bet with my own money. And there's just not too many people in the industry that could be open and honest about that. So when I'm betting things, I know exactly what goes into all these plays. So you can be rest assured that we only put out the best of the best. And getting all of our plays for the next 99 days for less than $6 a day is a smoking deal. So if you have any questions, just reach out to me or just go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section. But that is the best way to take advantage of what we've got going on at wagertalk.com. So, all right, let's do a quick little, I was going to pull up and look at some, let's take a look at some parlay pieces. There's a few of them that are out there. Now that soccer's over, we don't have quite as many, but there's a few. French Open is in a rain delay at the time of recording this, but if you're looking for things later on in the day, Fritz is a pretty decent parlay piece there. Zverev's kind of out of our price range. I still love Medvedev. I keep cashing on him. Rudd's been a really good one. He's got a pretty tough matchup against Fakina, but I do like those guys. And then, listen, it's the top ones in the women's side. You're looking at like, I mean, Coco Golf is just ridiculous, but Swiatek, Sabalenka, and some of those others you can put in there. Madison Keys, you can still probably get another round as a pretty nice, but we're starting to wind down quickly in the French Open. So those parlay pieces are kind of going away. Pretty good ones in golf here. I got to be honest. Shane Lowry to finish in the top 40. I did the golf show and I said I thought he was way overpriced, but he's priced like a top 6 guy. Well, I don't think he's a top 6 guy. He's definitely a top 40 guy. Tee to green numbers are fantastic. His putting's not been very good, but this is a weak field. And Shane Lowry at minus 225 is pretty good parlay piece. Tom Kim's another guy who really struggled a few months ago. He seems to get his game seems to be back on track. There's a few things you can do with Tom Kim. You can look at him in the top 40. One of the ones that I haven't gotten to the window too, but I'm kind of interested in this one. I feel like this is one that I'm not going to bet and I'm going to really regret it. You could take him as a top Korean. He's better than SH Kim and KH Lee. And it's even money. It's pretty solid. I don't know why I haven't bet it yet. There's something that's holding me back, but he's just been better. I think he was dealing with an injury earlier in the season, and now it's kind of fixed. So those are a few. You got some pretty good make the cut pieces here. So Batia at minus 210 is a pretty good. Will he make the cut? Even Tom Kim at minus 340 is good. And Maverick McNeely at minus 265 to make the cut. It's pretty decent on there. And then it's Wednesday, so we can start talking about UFC here and some parlay pieces. Eileen Perez over 2.5 is a good one. I still think Jocelyn Edwards at plus money is good, but since we're talking about parlay pieces, we can go through these. So yeah, the Perez and Edwards, I do like that one to go the distance. Good friend Jim Malero, you all know him. He does all the UFC stuff with me. He likes the under on Nico Price and Alex Morano. And this has already dropped 15 cents. Nico Price, chin may be gone. Alex Morano looked terrible in his last fight, so somebody might get finished in that one. Let's see. This line just keeps moving and moving and moving in Grant Dawson's, and I'm so mad that I did not jump on it earlier because the value is now gone. I think I just don't see how Joe Selecki wins. I don't see it. They're both wrestlers and grapplers, except Grant Dawson's like 10 times better. Not 10 times better, but he's much better. So Dawson probably going to it's not going to be an exciting fight. Dawson's going to get the body triangle locked around and just the round's going to be over and it's just going to be rolling around on the mat. And it's going to be frustrating to watch, but Dawson, you still want to put him in there, I guess, but that line has exploded. I would never in a million years use Randy Brown at minus 175 as a parlay piece. I am interested in this fight over 2.5, or maybe even to start round 2 when that comes out. These guys are tough, man. Randy Brown, he's so low volume. He finally got to finish his last fight, except it was a guy who's like older than my father. But before that, he's just low volume. Dos Santos is so tough, so scrappy. I just don't see who gets finished in this one. So I like overs. Like maybe to start round 2 might be a good one in that one. Kevin Holland, no thanks. Strickland and Costa, no thanks. And then, Makhachev's already up to minus 625. I still think Makhachev finishes Poirier. I think Makhachev by finish is a pretty decent parlay piece. Here, let me see what. Let's take a look here. What the finish on Makhachev inside the distance is. Minus 280. I think once he gets Poirier on the ground, he just wears him out and he either gets the submission or gets the ground and pound. I like Khabib's guys, and I like guys like Makhachev because they don't screw around. They don't get too fancy with how, I'm going to show off my striking. Like, no, I'm a wrestler. I get guys on the ground and I beat them up on the ground. So, all right, that is going to do it for us, guys. Thanks so much for joining us. Those are your props and parlays for today. Again, hit the like button and take advantage of that special. Get 99 days for less than $6 a day. That's on the deals page at WagerTalk.com, or just click on my profile, and we're going to keep these rolling. We're our number 2 in the last 3 days, and we're up over 70 units. Imagine adding 70 units to your bankroll. That's what we've done so far this year. So we're going to look to keep adding adding to the bankrolls and adding to the profits. Hope you guys join along with us. Good luck in your place. See everyone later.